Hey, what's going on, everybody? Coach Nick here with my very cleverly named YouTube channel, Coach Nick Fitness. Today we're going to go over how to do a side plank, 3 common mistakes that I see when I teach these in my fitness classes, how to fix those, and a couple little extra ninja tricks to make this exercise way more effective. So if you're new to a side plank, or you've been doing these for a while, but you just don't think you're feeling it in the right spot, or you're feeling it a bunch in your shoulder, we're gonna fix that today, and we're gonna get into that right now. Let me bring this camera down, and I'm gonna quickly just show you a side plank if you're super new to side planking, and I'm gonna show you how I do this 2 different ways. So ideally, let me come down here. That'll work. Ideally, I like to coach this with my feet stacked on top of each other, my elbow right under my shoulder, which is mistake number 1. I'm going to get into that in a second here. But I want to just give you a quick tutorial. Boom. So I'm going to be here. Abs are tight. Glutes are tight. I got a nice straight line here. And I like to do this. I see this taught like this all the time. I don't love this. I like feet stacked on top of each other much better. If that's too hard for you, I want you to bend your bottom knee, and then you're going to come up, and then we're going to look like this. So there's just your quick look at how that should look. Mistake number 1 is elbow position. So this is very common that people feel it in their shoulder, and that's because when they set up the side plank, their elbow's way too high. So I don't want to be like this. So you can see it's over here. I'm putting a ton of stress on this shoulder joint. So we want to make sure that we just have a nice straight line from our elbow to shoulder. I'm okay if you're even under it a little bit more. That's going to feel funky. But we should be right here, straight line. This is our best leverage point. Okay, I'm going to stack my feet, or I'm going to bend my bottom knee. And then I'm going to come up. Boom, and now everything feels really good. So if you start feeling your shoulder while you're doing it, you got to reset and bring that back under so we have that nice straight line. So that's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 is going to be hip position. So a lot of times we get too high with the hips or we get too low with the hips. So what you want to see, and I know it's going to be tough when you're doing it to see this, but at least think about it, that when you get set up in your side plank, it should be a straight line from your ear to your heel, and my hip should not be way up here. So now I have kind of this pike, which I don't want to have, so I've ruined my nice straight line, and I don't want to be down here. Now I got this dip here, and I ruined my nice straight line. So here's a really good ninja trick for you to focus on when you're doing these, is lift off, and then think this distance right here from hip to ground doesn't change. That's your objective. Obviously, once you get towards the end, you're going to start dipping down. That's okay, but while we're trying to do this for, 20, 30, 40 seconds, try to keep that distance level from hip to ground. And that's a really good trick for you there. Third mistake is, and I see this all the time with a lot of exercises, especially plank and core exercises, where we go into the setup and we don't think about anything. We just get into the plank, we get into the side plank, we do a crunch, and we don't focus on actually contracting the core, squeezing the glutes, getting the obliques nice and tight. So you basically just kind of set it up and lollygag through it. So we gotta focus on points of tension here. So there's always 3 when I teach a plank or a side plank. So we're gonna get set, elbow under the shoulder, we're going to bend that bottom knee if we need to, or we're going to stack the feet, and then we're going to lift off, and we're thinking 3 points of tension. Abs are tight, glutes are tight, and I'm going to at least make a fist, but I want to just push that into the ground a little bit. And that turns everything on, and that is way more important when we're doing kind of this modified version, where we're not quite as strong as I would hope we would be. This is a fine, everybody's got to start somewhere. But if we need this, you can't just come up and not think about anything. We're not going to strengthen anything. We have to come up, we got to turn on the core, glutes are tight, little push into the ground, and boom, that's how we do it. I want to give you a quick couple progressions. If you're somebody who's looking at doing a side plank and you're actually pretty strong on these, and it's actually a little bit easy for you, so there's 2 that I use all the time. So this, you have to make sure you are feet stacked. If you're bottom knee bent, your progression is going to be going to this one. But if we're here, I love adding in this rotation, like so, while keeping the hips up. If you let the hips drop, that doesn't count. Or I like doing just this little oblique crunch. I want you to notice where I stop. When I see people do this oblique crunch, they do this thing. You just went all the way through your obliques. So you just dip down and get right back to the start. Dip down, right back to the start. Boom! And that is how you properly do a side plank, getting away from and avoiding those 3 common mistakes. So I hope that helps you when you go do your next one. I'd encourage you to watch this video, watch this video again, follow along so that we really feel that tension. We make sure we're not all in our shoulders and our hips aren't too high or we're not too low. So I hope that helps. If it did, please like this video, comment below, let me know what you think. If you tried that, did you feel that a little bit more? And be my first subscriber, be my first channel subscriber, or my second or third, trying to grow, help me out. Boom, like it, share it, comment below, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. Again, I'm Coach Dick with Coach Dick Fitness. I will be back with more of these how-to tutorials and 3 most common mistake tutorials. See ya, peace.